Well, I learned with quite a lot of disappointment that the DPP decided to enter what they call a nolle prosecution, which is a withdrawal of charges which were leveled against the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Honorable Amos Lugoloobi, and the rest. My disappointment first comes from the fact that under Article 120 of the Constitution, the DPP is expected to conduct the business independently without regard to the politics at the time, without regard to other factors, being it social, economic, or otherwise. So the court was already proceeding, and it is the same office, the DPP, who had sanctioned those charges. If there was no evidence at all, the right point was for the DPP not to sanction those charges and even waste resources in prosecuting up to the extent where a court had already put the accused person on defense. I think it is an abuse of power, it is an abuse of authority, it is an insult to the people of Uganda, because justice must be delivered in the interest of the people, not in the interest of the individual. So the powers given to the DPP is exercisable in the interest of the people of Uganda. What is the interest of the people of Uganda? That anyone involved in corruption must be punished, must be prosecuted, must be punished, and the message should go out loud. Now, with such a withdrawal, I think it discourages, first of all, it encourages people who are using public resources to abuse, to be corrupt with impunity, because they know nothing can happen to them. But also it erodes the trust in the office of the DPP. Already there are so many people who are in prisons, some beyond their terms, what ordinarily would have been a sentence had court found them, convicted them. Some are serving 10 years when the conviction provided in the law is just 5. The DPP has never taken any steps to have those people released. So this is a big indicator that we need probably some reforms within, even if it means amending the Constitution to try to deal with that power which was entrusted to the DPP. When you want to withdraw a case, there must now be some other mechanisms available, because withdrawing a case because somebody, the eyes are yellow, the teeth are yellow, the ears are yellow, the nose is yellow, it is not a basis for a withdrawal of a criminal offense.
Is everything done? Is there anything else can be done for the public to get justice?
I have not seen the actual reasons for the withdrawal, but under the law, the case can still be prosecuted. If this regime, the NRM regime, the NRM government does not, in May, we hope that the new government will be formed. All those files can be retrieved, and the new government, with a will to fight corruption, can still sanction charges. Criminal charges do not die. It can take 10 years because you are enjoying the protection of the sitting government, but after the government has changed, it is possible that such people can be brought to book, and it will happen. First, when you exercise powers conferred by the Constitution for and on behalf of the public, even when there is no, the law does not provide for you to give reasons, it is incumbent upon your office to provide reasons. So I disagree with that blanket abuse of saying I don't have to account. You account to the people of Uganda. There is money taxpayers have paid to put you in that office to do that work on their behalf. Do you want the public to start stoning suspects? Is that what the DPP wants? Do you want them to hold their pangas, follow those people in their homes and do something? That's not what they want. That's why they gave these powers to some few individuals to exercise it on their behalf. So you cannot just say, I do not have to account for you for any reasons. As to whether the Parliament can do something, well, we may, but as you know, even us are here at Parliament, we are not clean. I have made this point over and over again, that if this Parliament was itself very clean, we would exercise. But they say you must come with clean hands when you want justice or you want equity. So when your hands, your hands are not clean, how do you then purport to dispense justice. It might be a question of, monkeys coming together and then they just go in the forest and enjoy. I have been made to understand, I may be corrected, that that nolle prosequi was entered before he took office. But being a new DPP, he can also exercise the same authority granted by the Constitution to reinstate those charges and prosecute to its logical conclusion. We are not saying that court is incapacitated to find out whether the suspects, the accused persons, were guilty or not. Leave that responsibility to court. Do your part, prosecute, and let court do its part so that Ugandans can see justice being done. How I wish the nolle prosequi has been entered against the many suspects languishing by warrant of court-martial, for example. How I wish the nolle prosequi was entered against many political prisoners who have been arrested by virtue of putting on a red, putting on a blue, putting on a green, or any other color apart from yellow. How I wish the nolle prosequi is entered against so many grandmothers and parents whose lands have been grabbed and fake offenses of trespass, assault, and yet it's a land conflict. How I wish the nolle prosequi was entered to settle some of these business conflicts that find themselves in our criminal justice system. That would be the best way to do it, and we would see that justice is being done and fairly done to all.
Well, I want to congratulate the new DPP who comes from West Nile, and he has been in that office as an assistant for some time, so I am confident that he can do a good work. Regarding that case of the Karamoja iron seats, of course, about 3 or 4 ministers were accused they are being prosecuted. And yesterday, when this news came through that the charges against Lugoloobi were dropped out, my view is maybe they looked at the merits of the case and found that it was not necessary to proceed with. But I think that is not good for the fight for corruption. My view was that this case should have proceeded until he is acquitted formally, after listening to after him defending this, and all the processes, legal processes are completed, and then be withdrawn at that stage. One would think, because he's not a minister from that docket, it is possible that he may not be culpable as far as the iron seat case are concerned. But since we still have those ministers who were in OPM in that particular docket who are still involved, we want to see what will happen to them. But it will be disappointing to see all the ministers are acquitted from that charge. Without, it is better to listen to these cases to their logical conclusion than withdrawing them in the middle, which I feel will not be a good thing. They set a very bad precedent for fighting corruption. Because now questions are being asked now, if Honorable Lugoloobi is acquitted, what about the other ministers and so on? And many people are thinking that they should also be acquitted, which is not good. And people think that the laws against corruption is only to deal with the small fish. Those who have some influence and so on cannot be charged, which will not be good for the fight for against corruption. It's also, it's suspicious, because people are going for we are going for election, and the minister is also contesting it. It may be that if the case is not withdrawn, it will reduce his chances of winning. But I think that is also something which is questionable. Yeah, the best thing for me would be to really allow the case proceed until the end, and then a proper ruling would be done, either to acquit him or convict him.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He was not the only person. It involved a lot of people. So when he was remaining alone, one could wonder what was so unique about it. So to me, what the DPP has done, it was long overdue, it was right. Let the gentleman go and settle and serve the country. Yes, because he did not deny. No, he said, I brought the iron sheets, I'd put a shed for the goats to be reared there, and also help the community. Are you getting me? So everything was involving, yes, it is true. And there was evidence that he was given. Who gave? He was there. So to me, as a politician, I was not seeing any case there. But thanks to God that that case. He lost interest in the case, and my colleague's Honorable Lugoloobi is now a free man. By the way, let me tell you, psychologically it tortures. He is a candidate now. And somebody can plant hooligans and say, we don't want to listen to you, a thief. That title alone to a minister is not good. I think it was not a political intervention that because he's a minister, he should be relieved. But I think they based on the sensitivity of the case, the relevancy, and also looking at the situation, if it deserved that case or that person to be tortured like that or not. Well, I cannot go to the details of that because I'm not part and parcel of the judiciary. They know the procedure they follow. But me, I'm excited about how they came to say that no, I think we have been wasting time, we have lost interest.
What does this mean, the fight against corruption in the country?
No, there are so many cases which you can get and say this is corruption. Where was the corruption there? To me, by the way, there was no corruption. Maybe to them, I don't know which section was indicating corruption. When I tell my fellow minister that I want to help my people in the community, and you say, you know, I have some products you want, let me give it to you. Is that the corruption they are meaning? Then if we go to that level, then even mere talking is corruption.
Somebody is not guilty until proven guilty. So I think they investigated and saw that much as we looked at things being that way, but I think there was a different avenue. Of course, once such investigations are done and they realize all those things, I think it's proper that they declare and ensure that at least the matter is concluded at that. There is no politics, but I think what's important is on merit. Because under the Universal Declaration of Rights of 1948, human rights are inherent, and of course you must make sure that at least everybody is heard, and that freedom is actually guaranteed under our constitution and the laws of Uganda. Yeah. Yes. But of course there is room for improvement in whatever circumstances.